An article from The Hill of the 8th day of June. Latinos for Trump co-founder blast inhumane immigration arrest.
Without objection to order.
Thank you, sir. And the second one is from the Independent of May the 28th. Trump ordered a critically ill 4-year-old Mexican girl to leave the country. Experts say she could die in days. I ask unanimous consent.
Without objection to order.
Thank you, sir.
Chair recognizes Mr. Krishnamoorthi from Illinois.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Governor Pritzker, when it comes to immigration, you've been clear that Illinois follows the law. I'd like to go into this issue just a little further. First, there's been a lot of misinformation about the Illinois Trust Act. As you know, this is the 2017 law signed by then Republican Governor Bruce Rauner, which requires state agencies to cooperate with ICE when it presents a criminal arrest warrant for an individual, correct?
Congressman, yes, that's correct.
And just to be clear, the Illinois State Police, the Department of Corrections, and other Illinois agencies must cooperate with ICE when they present a criminal arrest warrant, correct?
And do every single time.
This is Illinois law.
Yes,
Donald Trump may not like state law, as we're seeing in California, but what Donald Trump likes is irrelevant. The law is the law. The Wall Street Journal reports that ICE's recent raids in California, including at a Home Depot in the LA area, were organized because the administration was falling way short of its cruel goal of deporting thousands of people per day. Politico said this is, quote, the standoff that Trump wanted. There's another reason why Trump has provoked the current situation in California. He doesn't want to talk about what he calls the big, beautiful bill and what I call the large, lousy law. So let's talk about what Trump doesn't want to discuss. What Trump doesn't want to discuss is that his large, lousy law cuts $625 billion in Medicaid, a program that insures millions of Americans. Governor Walz, in a press release on Medicaid cuts, you said, quote, the victims of these cuts will be families, children, veterans, rural Americans, and pregnant moms. That's what you said, right?
That's correct, Congressman.
And Governor Hochul, in a recent op-ed, you wrote, even if you don't rely on Medicaid, these cuts affect you. Because when millions lose coverage, hospitals and other vital health care institutions lose funding. And that strains the entire system. That's what you wrote, right?
That is correct, sir.
Governor Pritzker, cuts in the large, lousy law are going to leave upwards of 700,000 Illinoisans without health insurance. Isn't that correct?
Yes, people will die.
Trump's large, lousy law adds trillions to the national debt as well, which could force $500 billion in automatic cuts to Medicare, in addition to the cuts in Medicaid that we just referred to. And of course, Medicare is a program that every senior relies on. Let me turn to my final topic. Governor Pritzker, President Trump has called Illinois, quote, a poorly run state. But the truth, of course, is the opposite. Governor, Illinois has had 7 consecutive balanced budgets, right?
That's correct, Congressman.
And our credit rating has been raised 9 times in the last 6 years, correct?
After 21 downgrades under Republican and others.
And it now stands at an A rating, right?
It does.
In contrast, under President Trump, every credit agency has downgraded America's credit rating below the top level, the first time in history that's happened. Isn't that right?
That's correct.
Trump and others claim the federal government props up Illinois. But in reality, we're one of 13 states in the country that actually give more tax revenue to Washington, D.C. than we receive in return. Now, let me turn to some of the reasons why Illinois is a donor state and not a taker state. Illinois has a $1.1 trillion economy. We produce the most soybeans in America, and we're the #2 producer of corn, right?
That is correct.
We're the #2 manufacturing state in the country.
We are.
And we're the #2 destination for corporate expansions and relocations, right?
And Chicago is #1.
Thanks to you, we have the world's first quantum and microelectronics park, correct?
That's right.
And we're ranked top in the Midwest for workforce development, correct?
Yes, we are.
And startups.
That's right.
Illinois is the heart and soul of America, Governor. It's where the cell phone was invented, was home to the first McDonald's, and was the home of amazing leaders, Lincoln, Reagan, Obama, Grant, even Superman, and yes, the Pope. And here's a picture of the Pope wearing a Chicago White Sox cap. The next Pope's going to be a Cubs fan.
There you go.
Illinois has terrific jobs, people, and pizza. Some may even say that God is on our side, Governor. I'm proud to be from Peoria. I'll always stand up for Illinois, loud and proud. I yield back.
Chair now recognizes Mr. Jordan from Ohio.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Governor Hochul, third paragraph, second